Good morning, everyone. We had our beautiful gala last night on Tu B'Shvat here in this beautiful tent. And you know, Tu B'Shvat is the New Year for trees. But the question is, why are we celebrating the New Year for trees when in Israel, which is where the holiday originates from, it's the winter season now, and the trees have no fruit on it yet? And the answer is that it's precisely at this time of the year that most of the rain has already fallen in Israel. And because most of the rain has fallen in Israel, the trees are ready to produce fruit. And therefore, Tu B'Shvat is not about celebrating the actual fruit, but the potential for the fruit to grow. Why do we celebrate at the point of the potential, not at the realization of the fruit? Imagine if your birthday was not celebrated on the day you were born into this world, but imagine if your birthday was celebrated on the day that you were conceived by your parents. We don't celebrate the day of conception, we celebrate the day of birth. So why don't we celebrate the day that the trees actually produce fruit, rather than the day of Tu B'Shvat when there are no fruit, but most of the rain has fallen and the sap is in the trees, and therefore the potential for the fruit is already there. And the answer is that we often take credit for what we accomplish, forgetting that Hashem is the one who gave us the potential to achieve everything we achieved. And therefore, the tree of the field is a metaphor for man. As the verse says, man is like a tree in the field. And the lesson is that no matter what we achieve in life, we have to remember who gave us the ability and the potential to achieve it. Yes, when a baby's born, we celebrate birth, and as they grow up, we take pride in their accomplishments. But it's the moment when God created the potential for that child that we have to celebrate, realizing that without God, none of this would be possible. And so too with metaphorically all the fruit of our labors, we have to always remember that when we go to Publix and we see the shelves stocked with fruit, we shouldn't be grateful, oh, thank God Publix carries it. No, we should remember who sent the rain and produced the soil for which this fruit developed. And so too with all of our achievements, never forget that God is the one who made everything possible, and always be grateful to God. And so too with human beings. We should always believe in people's potential. Even before people bear fruit, we should realize their inner sap and potential and celebrate that. And that will draw out all of its fruit. There's a story in the Talmud about a man by the name of Reish Lakish who was a gladiator. And he was once swimming in a river next to a great rabbi, Rabbi Yochanan. And Rabbi Yochanan said to Reish Lakish, your strength should be devoted to the study of Torah because you're so muscular and strong. To which Reish Lakish responded to Rabbi Yochanan, who happened to be a very handsome man, your beauty should be devoted to women. So Rabbi Yochanan said to Reish Lakish, I'll tell you what, I have a sister who's beautiful, gorgeous. I'll introduce you to her, to marry her, if you devote yourself to Torah study. And remarkably, the Talmud says that Rabbi Lakish went to study Torah, became one of the greatest scholars of his generation. He's quoted till this day in the Talmud, throughout the Talmud, for great scholarly opinions. And he actually married the sister of Rabbi Yochanan, became his brother-in-law. This former thief and bandit gladiator marries the sister of the great sage Rabbi Yochanan and becomes his learning partner. And the question is, why would Rabbi Yochanan offer his sister to a man who was a gladiator just to entice him to study Torah? And moreover, why would Reish Lakish devote himself to Torah study just to marry a beautiful woman? He was a criminal, he was a bandit, surely he had plenty of women at his disposal. And the Rabbi says something very powerful, that Reish Lakish led a life of criminality, of banditry, and no one had ever believed in him until Rabbi Yochanan came along and said, I see your potential, I see your inner strength and power. Devote it to Torah study, I'll let you marry my sister. Showing him that I truly believe in you. And this was the first time someone really believed in Rabbi Lakish's potential. And when he saw that someone believed in his potential, that motivated him to become a great Torah scholar and a pious Jew. So too, when we believe in people and we show them what we sincerely believe in their potential, that's when they bear their greatest fruit. And that's the lesson of Tu B'Shvat. Be grateful for the potential that God gives you. And understand that sometimes you look at a tree and you see no fruit, but within that tree lies all the sap and all the rainwater that has already fallen by Tu B'Shvat, which will allow it to bear the sweetest fruit. All we have to do is see the potential in each other and in ourselves. Have a wonderful day.